Well, ooh, child, things will get easier. And this is for
Yeah,
about.
buddy.
Oh, look who's on the screen. We got Ryan Big Straw Anderson on a Wednesday with us. We got to talk about some college football, Big Ten and ACC previews. We're also going to talk some review week one in the NFL preseason. Hopefully, Mike will be on tonight. We'll see him in a minute. But other than that, this one battle was going to get lit. Ryan, what do we do?
Hit that music fade.
Let's go.
Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, boys, yeah. Hold on, we them boys. We them boys.
The show that makes your Wednesday go by faster, like some stew softening. We're on Sundays and Wednesdays, 9:05. The founder of Crazy Straws, Ryan Anderson. You crazy, you got a straw. What you do, Ryan?
Let them know. Well, shoot, you got a purple, green, red, any color you want. Football season is full. Football season is fast approaching. Got the yellow ones for my Pittsburgh fans. Got the red ones for my Georgia fans. Even blue ones for the Cowboys fans that are out there. We got it. You want it? We got it. I'm working on another deal now where we can get them to change color when you're drinking your favorite drink. So hey, you want the straws? You want them crazy? Get you some crazy straws.
You find out you can find this in some stores around America. Some stores.
Some stores, some stores. Still working on distribution. Still getting it. We getting it as many as we can. Let them know. Crazy straws. Look for it.
Pretty Tony joining us. Pretty Tony, what it do? What up, though?
What up? What up? All right, I'm about to log out and log right back in real quick. I'm gonna have to use my phone tonight, man.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
We're still going through the sponsors, though, so you good.
All right.
So, just for men, Mike, right here, I can. Just for men, we're also just for men, just ignore it. Just ignore it. When you go low, you go high. Remember that. Oh, also,
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mike. I'm Michael, older brother. Michael Senior. Michael, older brother.
That looked like this can go a couple different ways by what's on your face.
So what? So what, brother? What's going on?
This could go a couple different ways, but we're a family-oriented show, so we're not gonna go that way.
Well, don't go that way. Don't go that way.
I'm not.
All right. Thank you.
Dax Waving Room. You need some waves in your head. Go ahead and get some Dax Waving Room. $5 at Dollar General, $3.50 at the beauty salon. Arizona tea, 89 cents in Walgreens. Been 99 cents in 1990. Give you 300% of the diabetes. Arizona tea. Follow us on YouTube, and Facebook for Battle One Podcast. BuyNightShirt.com. Get your stuff. Homecoming is going to be start kicking around in a few months. Go get your stuff for HBCU or you pledge the Greek fraternity. That's part of the Handle at 9. BuyNightShirt.com. Got your stuff. David's podcast, Chopping It Up with David Randall. Episodes pop off every Tuesday. Check him out. He has 12 episodes that popped out. The intro is lit. Great content. Check it out. And of course, our favorite sponsors. Hennessy Coke, Crown Royal, XO, and Ginger Ale. The Dialects.
The dark liquors.
Don't really talk about. Hey, no, Faye. Don't really talk about liquor on the show tonight, okay? Don't talk about liquor, because that's what got my little brother in trouble. Okay, don't do that. All right. Thank you, Faye. Thank you.
So, guys, got a lot of football to talk about. College football week 0 is going to hit in what, 10 days, something like that.
Won't be long.
Week 0, which means games of no consequence will be here. But at the same time, we ready for it. Why? But week 0, I hate that week 0 term. But this is one of some of the topics I might want to talk about tonight. I'm gonna start with the Big Ten and ACC predictions. Let's start with the ACC because it seems like there's some turmoil with Florida State leaving the ACC. As you know, Florida State used to be an independent like Notre Dame years ago until they joined the ACC. So I don't know what's feasible for where them to go. Maybe the SEC would make more sense. Big East don't really have a strong football conference. We'll get into that later as far as conference realignment. But where do you see Clemson, Florida State, and Miami this year, Michael?
I think Florida State back, man. I think Florida State. I don't think they in that category with Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State. But I think Florida State can win the ACC and possibly have an outside chance at the college football playoffs. That first game of the year with them with LSU is gonna be crucial to their national championship dreams or whatever. Clemson, I think Clemson is Clemson is still one of those teams, but it's like nobody's fearing Clemson no more. You know what I'm saying? Like Clemson ain't a team that when you look at them on the schedule, nobody's fearing them. And I'm gonna pat my Georgia Bulldogs on the back for that because that first game of the year, now 2 years ago, Georgia, just dominated Clemson. So Clemson is not a team, man, that you really fear now. But Florida State does have to go to Clemson to play, and we'll see how that goes. But in Miami, Miami has to play Florida State and Clemson, and I don't see them winning either game.
I'm sure somebody has something to say to that if he jumps on. I know he busy, but where's that first game? Is that a neutral site game against LSU?
I think if it ain't in Atlanta, it's New Orleans. I don't know for sure. But I know that's going to be like a prime time game week 1. But I thought it was in Atlanta. Maybe it's not.
I'll go ahead and give mine. I'm right there with you. As long as Florida State can stay healthy, in my opinion, I really don't see anybody. They are supposed to be, and we going off of paper here, head and shoulders above everybody else. You still got a step ladder of, Florida State ahead above Clemson, and Miami, but Clemson and Miami are right there, in my opinion. Clemson is Clemson. We haven't heard a lot about Clemson, but when you don't hear a lot, those are the teams that you gotta watch out for. You really gotta watch out for those teams because those are the scary teams when you don't hear a lot on the recruiting front as much as you need to, and as much as on the headlines. Usually it's Clemson we talking about before Florida State. So I would say that you got to watch out for Clemson. Miami, this is probably the year of the Miami resurgence, meaning that they could win possibly, in my opinion, they could win 8 or 9 games. 8 or 9 games, and it shouldn't be a major issue. I hope it comes together for them. I'm with you, Mike. Florida State and Clemson, those may be 2 L's. If they can ease by Clemson some kind of way, then we talking about a complete turnaround. And they've had some lean years. They've had some lean years. So I'll be the first to say that I welcome that, and because that Florida State Miami game back when we was kids, man, that was the game. You tune in. I'm talking about, and I know everybody on this program knows that back in the wide right, wide left days, those were classic games, and we want that. We want that. I'm as we say nowadays, I'm here for it.
Somebody go.
Yeah, y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we got.
I hear you now.
Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
I mean, I'm kind of on the fence, man. No, I definitely have seen the progress that Florida State has been making, over the past couple of years. I think they made a real big jump last year. As far as being respectable and not being the doormat, of the ACC. So that's not good for college football. I have to say that. As Strauss said, man, Florida State, and Miami, definitely, definitely represented college football well for many years. So to see them back to respectability is definitely something that is exciting for the game and for the sport. I just gotta see how they look against LSU. I'm definitely not going out on the limb and picking them to beat LSU, but if they can make that game competitive, and show up, then I definitely think that they should they have a chance to at least win the ACC. Clemson is definitely not what they used to be. They're falling back to the pack. They're not even doing the same in recruiting anymore. So they lost a lot of talent, of course, but they also lost a lot of people off their coaching staff that made Clemson who they are. But kind of reserving judgment at this point as far as how much I think how well I think they'll do this year. But I definitely think they're back as far as being competitive and not being a doormat anymore, which is they deserve credit for, because Bobby Bowden left them boys in a mess, man. Not Bobby Bowden, but Jimbo. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jimbo left them boys in a mess, man. Left them a mess.
Yeah, took that money to for Texas A&M. He's on the hot seat with Bobby Petrino as his offensive coordinator. That's gonna be who we get the SEC. That's gonna be
That's gonna be
talk about get fired. That'll be interesting to say the least. We got Damon. I know. Hi, Damon. Hi, Damon.
Hey, Fade.
Hey.
Hi, Damon. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
What's up, Chop?
How y'all doing?
What's up, Chop?
Hey, the first thing I want to say is thank God that these two Florida teams are back to respectability, because I'm a firm believer that college football need these teams.
Mm-hmm.
They
Who
need
back to
them
respectability? Miami?
Yeah, I think Miami is on its way back to respectability.
Miami went 5-7 last year.
Hear what I'm saying? They got a chance to win 8 or 9 games. I know they went 5-7. If they get back to it's a point where they want to watch Miami again, even though they went 5-7. The hardcore fans, the people in Miami, of course, they're gonna be on their head.
Head.
So you looking at these two ACC teams. Florida State, to me, is the team that they may be able to take it. Everybody talked about Clemson. I agree with y'all. The recruitment has fallen off. The actual players are gone, and they're not really replacing them like they used to. They're not getting 5 stars to come in for 5 stars like they was in the little 5-year run that they did. But Miami and Florida State were needed for the survival of college football, because you got a hotbed state that produce NFL players. Florida can be wishy-washy sometimes. They needed those two teams to step up. And it looks like this year they just might do it.
Let me just clear y'all up real quick, man, because I heard like 2 people say it. Clemson recruitment ain't falling off now. Now, Clemson won the ACC last year, and they finished 11-3. But Clemson is still, because I follow recruiting a little bit. Clemson is still top 5, top 10 recruiting program in the country. So it ain't necessarily just falling off. Now you may not see the same Deshaun Watsons and Trevor Lawrence and them kind of guys, but they still getting five-star guys coming in, and they still got guys getting drafted pretty high. So
I hear you, and you're right, Mike. But if everybody hear me out, I think they'll understand what I'm saying. You got used to Clemson bringing in number 2, number 3, number 4, it was a run that they made where you was like Clemson gonna be ahead for a long time. They still in the top 10. I get what you're saying, but it's a difference. And people, average people who don't follow recruiting, they just see the years where they average top 3 to now top 7, top 10. To them, that is falling off.
Ahead.
It is falling off.
That's what I'm saying. When you in that top 3, top 5, and then you
compete, yeah. When you used to compete with Alabama for, the number 1 spot in recruiting every year, you know what I'm saying? And now you're not mentioned in them top couple of spots. I'm not saying they trash.
Right.
I mean, I'm never saying that. But no, they've definitely fell off a little bit in recruiting from where they used to be.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's why I say they scary. That's why I say they scary, because they ain't talking about them like they used to.
Dabo is still a great coach. I'm not taking nothing from that aspect. That's why I say if they went 11-3 last year, they mess around and upgrade that, they can shut my mouth. And I'm like, oh well, I was wrong. I just feel like that may be a small. It's not even that big. It's small, but it can factor after a while.
Hey, go to 24/7 Sports and just look up recruiting ranking like the last 2-3 years. When you get a chance.
I'm already on that.
And the fact. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Fact.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was getting ready to say, and the fact that they won the ACC at 11-3 says enough in itself as far as their conference goes.
Right. That's true. I agree with that. Now, here's a dark horse team, even though I don't think they're going to do much, but they will be scary when you play them, and that's North Carolina.
North Carolina better get some defense because they playing.
That's the thing. But if you mess around, want to get
they in the Dean Smith Center, they playing basketball. What they got going on?
You're right, Mike. But what's scary about them is if the season and the players play out, they're gonna be able to put up points. You're right. They're gonna have to stop somebody, but they're scary enough. If you mess around and make a mistake and you give them a lead, and they capitalize on your mistakes, they'll beat you.
That's anybody though, Damon. That's anybody in the country.
I mean, I guess what my guy's saying. All right, so Drake May had a good year last year, right? He a Heisman Trophy candidate, preseason Heisman Trophy candidate this year, and everybody saw him do what he did last year with the talent that he had, and he's coming back and he's got some of that same talent.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Straw. I know it's anybody in the country, but when you got a potential Heisman winning quarterback, a potential number 1 quarterback, and he can put it together, it's a difference where somebody like Utah State come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. You got somebody that you looking at that they saying could probably win 2 or 3 games by himself. And if they mess around and put it together where he don't have to do that, they're going to be scary. I know it's anybody, but I'm looking at who this team's quarterback is. This is an NFL-ready quarterback who probably could have been the number 1 pick last year.
And North Carolina, they can possibly do that. They got to stop somebody. If they able to stop somebody.
That I will agree with you on. They definitely got to play some defense.
But the thing about Clemson, y'all, and we soon to forget, Clemson was in route to play in the college football playoffs if they don't lose that game to South Carolina. South Carolina beat them right at the end of the season. So Clemson, if it wasn't for that South Carolina loss, Clemson would have been in the playoffs. Now I know
But
for
it,
if a
but
coulda,
but
shoulda,
but
woulda,
exactly,
they would have been in the
exactly.
playoffs.
And at your request, I'm on 24/7 Sports right now, and I'm looking at the
Yeah.
2024 college football rankings, and I'm looking at the top 10, and Clemson's missing.
That don't
Go
because
to
the
20,
rankings ain't nowhere.
go to
That
23.
don't
They're not in the top 10. 23, they're not in the
that
top
yeah
10.
that don't matter. 2024.
Okay.
23, they're not in the top 10.
Oh,
You gotta
okay.
wait till the rankings over with.
I
Okay,
mean,
though,
you
man.
got. I mean, we talking recruiting now. Now you say you follow recruiting, cuz so here the thing. You know, just like I know, that those stars mean absolutely what?
Nothing.
Nothing. So when they get out there and he put them in their training and does what he does, and he's able to, Dabo is and his staff is able to get the most out of what they bring to the team. They're gonna those stars. You can have a 1-star that can get drafted. I'm just saying the 1-star can get drafted, so it can happen. It can happen.
What Clemson finished in 2023 for? What year you on?
They're 11. I'm going back in the last 10 years. Clemson was 10 in 2019. They were 5 in 20. They were 3 in 2020, 5 in 21, 10 in 22, and 11 in 23.
So,
They're not
but
in the
if
top
you look
10
at
this
it,
year.
they did kind of fall off just a little bit.
They were
You got to look
decreasing the
at
last 4
also
years,
too.
Damon.
You got to look at also the transfer portal play a part in that too. A lot of cats are going in that transfer portal versus high school kids too. And I don't know how many kids Clemson got out of the portal, but if you go back and look at what year you say 2023, look how many recruits they got.
Dabo was against the portal. He just started messing with the portal this offseason.
Right. He
So
hated the
you
portal.
look at them numbers.
I mean speaking of the transfer portal, that transfer portal, I'm glad they finally made some rules to tighten up on that, because it was some programs literally getting rich off the transfer portal. Georgia's one of them when they got the kid from Clemson, and he ended up transferring. So when they get ready to transfer again, it's going to be some restrictions on them if they transfer twice.
All right, let's get to some comments in the chat right quick. Jamon Sims, friend of the show, he's not sure if Clemson is a consistent top 5. They're no longer in the upper echelon when you look at the luster recruiting. And this big comment right here. Don't not go too far. Those stars do carry some weight. It's the reason why Alabama, Georgia, and USC are always in the conversation. Don't forget Ohio State, also wide receiver U as Horatio Major Jr. states on this show every week. That's wide receiver U and Brian Hartline as a receiver coach for the Buckeyes.
And as my boy Shot love to say, get him some love, even though he's not on the show. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have them stars, that's when the coaches got to coach.
Yeah.
But he got to coach. He has to coach. He's got to coach. I mean, and like I said, you're gonna have some diamonds in the rough, and you got to coach them boys up. This is where the rubber meets the road for any coach. Any coach. Let alone Dabo, but any coach worth his weight in what his name is, you got to be that's where the rubber meets the road. You can bring in all the 5 stars and they can be talented all you want. What about them 1 and 2 stars that you recruited, you brought into the program? They're not gonna always be at that talent level. You got to coach them up. That's the coach them up.
Dabo lost some lust in recruiting after Trevor Lawrence left and the DJ Ooga didn't work out. That's what hurt Clemson over these last couple of years where they recruiting.
No, it wasn't just that. Tony
didn't work out.
Yeah, when Tony Elliott and
Tony Elliott went to Virginia.
And what's the dude? Venable. When they left.
Yeah, he lost top assistants. I think that hurt him more than the recruiting. because I still believe he's one hell of a recruiter. I think him losing his top assistants kind of fell off because Venables, one, he a great recruiter as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Venable
So that
he was their main guy.
who?
He was one of their main
Venable.
guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That kind of threw a huge monkey wrench in his staff, man. You know, I'm a firm believer you as great as the people you hire.
Mhm.
And you know, when you lose those guys to go on to do their own thing, you got to replace them. And if you didn't replace them with people that you feel is up to par or better than what you had, that puts a lot of strain on you because now you got to coach a little more.
He fired his buddy this year. Brandon Streeter was the offensive coordinator at Clemson. He fired
Right.
him and brought in, I think, Lincoln Riley, little brother.
Yeah.
We gonna see because I think the ACC is gonna be fun, man. I do. I just want to see what the two Florida teams do. Are they gonna get back to that respectability? And if they do, watch out.
Speaking of respectability and 5-star recruits, Big Ten season. We're a year away from seeing USC and UCLA playing in the snow. Also, we're waiting bated breath to see how long Jim Harbaugh is going to be suspended.
No,
Ohio
it ain't gonna
State.
happen this year.
Yeah, they said that they gonna wait till the end of the year.
See, that's what I'm talking about right here. They're going to suspend him maybe through it, but probably because they were suspended because they got a good team. That's why they want to see a teammate that made the Final Four. But
I thought he got 4 games.
No, the NCAA
No, they didn't.
wouldn't agree. They didn't agree to.
They didn't
With
accept
the
it.
4
Yeah, they
games.
didn't accept the 4 games.
which leads me to believe it may be a little bit deeper or worse than what you know what I'm saying, really coming out.
Most
Because
definitely, I agree with you, Tony. I think that they wanted to suspend him half the season.
Mhm.
All right, Damon, you the Michigan correspondent here. Tell us the deal with this with Harbaugh, man. What
Okay, so
happened?
this is what alleged happened during the COVID year. JJ McCarthy was on campus in a dead time when they wasn't supposed to be recruiting, and it was other recruits on the campus and coaches running satellite practice that they wasn't supposed to be doing. Jim Harbaugh said one thing, and then it came out that it was another, and he said that's not what he said.
So I remember that. I remember that because
So
that was
what
new.
happens is the NCAA said they were, I believe they said, now I'm alleged, I could be wrong, level 2 infraction. So it was supposed to be where Harbaugh goes, they work out a deal on how many games he was supposed to be suspended. Initially, everybody in Michigan thought it was going to be 6 games. We thought it was going to be the first 4 games and the first 2 games of the Big Ten season. That's what everybody here thought. Then it comes out, they say, no, it's going to be, we gonna say 4 games. And then I'm thinking, this me, Tony, I'm thinking it's 4 games and you got to admit to the committee that you lied. That's what I think. And I'm thinking Jim Harbaugh said, nope, I'm not doing that. So they still put the 4 games in place, and the NCAA said no, to the point where a chairman or a committee person said that we have the right to agree or disagree with any proposal concerning suspensions. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, it has nothing to do with a cheeseburger because they saying he also bought the kids cheeseburgers. So I'm with Fave on one end. This is Michigan's and Harbaugh's best team in probably 15 years, and they want him to coach it. But I'm with Tony that this is bigger, and Harbaugh may not be the coach next year. I'm thinking it's in between.
That's a hot take.
That's me. I'm thinking if Harbaugh mess around and win the Big Ten again, and he win the national title, he's quitting. Because think about it, fellas, he's losing a majority of that team this coming year. McCarthy probably gonna go pro. Both his running backs will be gone. His defensive tackle is gonna be gone. 2 of his defensive ends are gonna be gone. 3 of his corners are gone. One of his safeties is gone, and 3 of his starting offensive linemen, all of them are possibly getting drafted.
I
So
can
if he
see that.
win it,
I can see that.
if he win it, I honestly think he will either quit or they'll convince him to sign a lifetime contract, and they gonna pay this man whatever they ask. Remember, the alumni is just as rich as Texas A&M. They not richer, they just as rich. They got a couple billionaires. One of them is the owner of the freaking Dolphins.
Stephen
You
Ross.
don't think, right? You don't think that if they win this national title and they want to keep Harbaugh there, go to the NCAA and say, look, you take this money and he gets suspended for 4 games, or we gonna make y'all look stupid. The NCAA already been looking stupid for years. Let them mess this up. Now, that's just my take, fellas. It ain't nothing. Everything I told you was alleged. But my take is, if this man mess around, beat Ohio State for the 3rd time, which is possible, I'm scared of Penn State. That's just me. But if he mess around, win this Big Ten, beat Wisconsin, who I think coming out the West, go to the playoff and win the Natty, I think he say I'm out of here. Or they gonna say, Jim. They're gonna say, Jim, you're gonna have to insert this stuff and we'll pay for it, or it's on you. That's just my opinion, fellas. That's just me.
We got the hot take ticker going. Damon said if Harbaugh wins the chip, he gone. You see it at the bottom of your screen. We got the hot take ticker brought to you by Taki's Hot Fries.
Those some good fries. Those some good fries.
I'm just saying, fellas, I just think about it. This team is probably not, I don't think it's, I got to see. Remember that 97 team where they had all them NFL players, that NFL defense, and they end up winning the national title. And they kind of fell off the next year because that defense went to the league. I see the same thing. The 2016 team, that Lamar Woodley and them squad, they were loaded. They just didn't win it all. You know, that this team is the same, except both sides of the ball are loaded. Both sides. This might be Harbaugh's best chance.
So let me ask y'all this question, and I'm definitely want to hear Faye's response on this. If Michigan beats Ohio State for the 3rd time, Ryan, Tony, and Faye, y'all are Ohio State administration, what do you have to say to Ryan Day?
Dude, what the hell? Because they let John Cooper lose 7 times to Michigan before they fire him.
Peace.
So you fire him after lose 3 times.
Tony, you gonna let him go?
Peace.
I'll be honest with you. If it's me, and you can hit the censor button for me, Fade. But look, dude, you done lost 3 times after all this dominance. Get your shit together.
I missed the button. I missed it. I missed it. I tried to catch it. I missed it.
Man, if Ryan Day loses Michigan again this year, dude, he's gone.
Yeah.
Man, we finna
I
fire
think
him.
they'll give him one more. I think they'll give him one more.
I'm with
Tony.
I think they give him 2 more. I think
you gonna fire a dude that's been winning 10, 11 games every year and went to the college football playoff last year?
Dude, this Ohio State.
I'm with Tony. They're not going to do what they did with John Cooper and go 1-10 against Michigan. That's not going to happen. As the coordinator, he was Myers' coordinator and he was undefeated. As the head coach, he's lost. They're going to get rid of him because they take that serious. If you go to Columbus, and Tony is my witness, they take that game serious and they do not lose in 1 game, let alone 3 straight. They will get rid of him. And Ohio State is such a big draw as to go coach. They'll find a great coach.
Harbaugh was on his last leg, dude.
Exactly.
They had him.
If he didn't win these last 2, he was gone.
Yeah, but see, Harbaugh, the difference between Harbaugh and Ryan Day, Harbaugh hadn't been to the college football playoffs or won a Big Ten championship at all.
Ryan Day did it with Urban Meyer's squad.
Don't matter. He done it. They ain't gonna when it's in the record books. They ain't gonna say Urban Meyer squad. They gonna say that's
Yes,
Ryan
they
Day.
are. They are gonna say
Man,
that. They are gonna say that.
Ryan Day is
I hear you.
Ryan Day is the head coach. I mean, is he not just called Urban Meyer players there? That's Ryan. Okay.
Grab me one.
Larry Coker won a national championship with Butch, what's the name, players. And when you look in the record book, that's Larry Coker. Somebody still got to coach him. You still got to look at that.
Okay.
So the point I'm making with that, we want to fire this dude. Ryan Day been the coach at Ohio, head coach, what, 3 years?
I think so.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
He won his first year.
So Fade, we finna fire Ryan Day, and he been at Ohio State 3 years, and he's been to the college football playoffs twice, and we ready to fire him?
I'm not.
And if I'm not mistaken, he played for a national championship with Justin Fields, right?
He did.
The first year after Urban Meyer left. After
Mike, you
that
first, I hear what you're saying,
the COVID year,
but you got to also take.
Too.
Mike, you also got to take what school you talking about and how serious they take this rivalry.
And that's what I'm trying to tell Atwater, dude. This is Ohio State, dude.
They take that rivalry serious, bro.
Hey man, the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry can't be no different than Alabama-Auburn. It's in the same boat.
Okay, Mike, that we get that, but in Columbus, Ohio, you beat Michigan, and that's it. Yes, you want to play for the national title, but you're not going to have a losing record against your rival.
Alabama-Auburn in the same category.
They're not going to do the John Cooper ever again.
Alabama and Auburn in the same category. They went to kill a tree in the rivalry. Somebody killed a tree in the rivalry. You think this ain't big as Michigan, Ohio State? All I'm saying is,
Mike, you missing the point. That's not what I'm saying.
Ryan Day, the point I'm making about Ryan Day, Tony wants to fire, and I'm actually shocked that Tony, I would have thought Fade would have been.
I didn't say I wanted to fire him. You asked me what I think they're going to do. I'm telling you what they're going to do.
You said peace. Peace means we'll holler at you.
They're going to holler at you.
And he right,
hey,
Mike.
Them man have been to the college football playoff twice, played in the national championship game. I don't see why you would fire.
Okay, Mike, listen to this.
Bro,
I want you to listen to something. John Cooper.
Damn tired.
Listen to me. John Cooper utterly dominated the Big Ten when he was the coach. He went 1-10 against Michigan. Had number one teams. Everybody remember Eddie George. Everybody remember all the squads he had. Orlando Pace. They remember them squads. They lost to Michigan. They're never allowing a 1-10 coach to ever coach again. They don't care how much they dominate the Big Ten. If you ain't dominate the Big Ten along with Michigan, you're getting fired.
No, I don't. If he lose, I don't think they're fired.
Okay. Now if he lose and you see breaking news, he been relieved of duty because he was the OC and he won with Urban Meyer. And then when he get the head coaching job, he offer, he's gone. He's gone, bro.
We got to remember who we gonna bring in.
Matter of fact, I do one even. You could put this on the bottom of the screen, Fabe, as a hot take. I wouldn't even be surprised if you see Urban Meyer back on the sideline if it happened again this year. Book it.
You gonna have Urban Myers and them ladies?
I'm just with Tony on this one because I know the rivalry, bro.
I know the rivalry, man.
I know the rivalry, and I know, and Tony know the rivalry too, because he got people up there. He understand the rivalry.
Hey, it ain't that. I understand the rivalry too. I've been around. I don't live up there, but I'm a college. I consider myself a college football expert historian. I know the rivalry. It's just as big as Alabama Auburn to me. The reason I'm saying keeping Ryan Day, he has been to the playoff twice and won 11 games. I don't see you firing him yet. Now, Ryan Day, now let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this about Ryan Day. That, like y'all saying about the rivalry and losing to Michigan, he ain't going to just be able to keep winning 10, 11 games and not be in Michigan. I get that. But I don't think they're gonna let him go after this year.
I'm gonna tell you like this, Mike. I know you know football, and I know you understand Alabama, Auburn, and this and that. I get it. What I'm telling you is that Ohio State and Michigan, when it comes to Ohio State, they will not allow no other coach to do what John Cooper did, man. They're not doing it. They don't care if he won 10, 11 games, man. If one of them games that you won don't include Michigan, John Cooper on average was winning 10, 11 games for 10 straight years. He was doing that, and then he went 1-10. They will never, ever, ever allow no coach to do that again. I get what you're saying. He probably don't deserve to get fired. I understand that. But if you can't beat your rival your years like that, especially when you done won 15 out of 16, and then they hire you and you lose 3 straight. No, bro. Remember how Ohio State dominated this series, and then they mess around and hire this guy because Urban say he the man and he ain't win. He's gone.
He's gone, man.
He's gone.
He's gone. I'm trying to tell you, he's gone, dude.
He's gone. Ryan, hear me out. They won 15 out of 16 games. And you lose 3 straight when you hire Ryan Day? No, that's not happening. Ryan, we love you. You got to go.
Roll damn time.
Yeah, Atwater said this rivalry was big as Atwater said the rivalry was big as hell.
The rivalry is huge.
It's right big as my ass.
What Mike is saying, that's a big rivalry. But you got to remember, they'll never get rid of Nick. Nick done brought championship after championship. He can have a bad year too. He ain't going nowhere. Alabama, Auburn been through how many coaches?
Hey, pull up Michigan's schedule and let Damon see what their predictions are like for the season. And then let's stamp this in. What do you think Michigan will go with the regular season? We'll read game after game.
Roll damn tide.
Roll damn tide.
Roll damn tide.
All right, East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green, Rutgers. That's 4-0 right there.
That's 4-0 right there.
Michigan and Nebraska, they're 6-0.
Yep.
Indiana, 7-0. Michigan State, at Michigan State, I'll say 8-0. Purdue.
Yeah, they'll beat them. It's going to be a battle for this rivalry. They'll beat Maryland. That's the one that scares me. That's the one that scares me. That one scares me. They in Happy Valley. They in Happy Valley.
Happy Valley.
That one scares me.
What time?
I'm gonna always be nervous about those 2 games. They scare me.
That might be a night game in Happy Valley too. Ooh.
What time? What time they playing? What time?
You ain't put the times out yet. You ain't gonna have the time yet.
The time is out.
If it's at night, they do a whiteout.
I said this before. I say it again. If Penn State lose, it'll be, in my opinion, something James Franklin do. He always do something dumb in a big game. It never fails. He always have a brain fart in a great game.
Hey, Damon, I know you up there on the ground, man, and I know they ain't your squad, but I mean, like I said, you up there in the ground. What you hearing about Michigan State?
Michigan State, Mel Tucker has really gutted the team because D'Antonio left him garbage, bro. So he had to hit the transfer portal. Then he pissed some players off. They left. He lost a damn good recruit that ended up flipping to LSU, that receiver. Oh, no, did he flip to Florida State? He flipped to Florida State, I think. Damn good receiver. Mel Tucker, he gonna have to do something this year. Now, he kept his job and he got that extension when he had what's the running back? Kenneth Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth Walker saved his life because that nobody saw that coming. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't either. Nobody saw that stud coming out of nowhere and doing what he did. But right after that, they had a horrible year.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a great quarterback play, which is also something they thought he would bring to the table. And they also thought he would bring defense because he was a defensive-minded coach. Now, I will say this. His defensive players last year, a lot of them was hurt. And when they came back, that defense got better. But his offense is putrid. So he has, I don't know, I can't say he had put him on the hot seat, but if he have another 5 and 7 year, they're going to start looking at him funny because this would be 2 years after they gave him that mega extension.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're going to be looking at him like, all right, you done got this money. It's time to put up or shut up, bro. And if he mess around, I say this, if he mess around and get blown out by Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State, they may look different. They may get rid of him. He gonna have to at least be competitive in them games, maybe even win one.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely got to be competitive in them games.
He got to be competitive.
I was just wondering what you was hearing as far as as far as talent level, what he may have.
Talent level, he's getting talent from the transfer portal. He got some good talent from. It's his recruiting that he has to improve in. He got a few good recruits. Like it's a really good receiver that I can't say he better than the one that transferred, but he from River Rouge. Number 2 in the state this year. Real good kid. Got good hands, 6'3.5", 6'4", big body. He going to Michigan State. And it's another kid that he got from is it Illinois or he getting good kids from the Midwest. He just not getting, it's Michigan State. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
They get the leftovers. Like, Vanderbilt get the leftovers or unless you got a great recruiter, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I believe if he doesn't do well this year, especially like if he's non-competitive, it's going to be a real issue, man. It's going to be a real big issue.
So hey, Faye, give Matt Rule 2 or 3 years. Nebraska may be on the way back.
I give him next year, Mike.
You put that at the bottom of the screen. Give Nebraska 2 or 3 years.
Back in the book.
Give him next year.
I can't necessarily say next year because playing against Ohio State and Michigan, Penn State, you still got to get adjusted and got to recruit better. And Nebraska,
according to 2024, he's doing. I've been seeing a few articles that he's getting players to buy in, and they commit. So, and he a damn good coach. It don't take him long to turn no team around.
We will see.
But see, I like it that the West is now competitive, man. The West needed to because it's like when you win the East, you automatically penciled in as the Big Ten champion. Whoever win the East, especially if it's the Big Three, they don't need that. You look at the point spread. It's average 19 to 23 point spread.
Anyone said who that bitch is? What
the Big Ten to me is gonna be another interesting one, but it's gonna be interesting because I just think at the end of the day, James Franklin can make it real interesting. He can make it really interesting.
Yeah, right.
Because he got 2 stud running backs.
Hold on.
He got a real good defense.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, Michigan, Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Penn State. Those are mine, and those gonna be the ones that one of them 4 teams gonna end up winning the Big East.
Might go back to though because
I think it's all like last year. It's gonna end up being down to the wire with Michigan and Ohio State, and I totally agree. I just think that if Ryan Day loses, they're going to pull him in that room and tell, hey, buddy, you better get your stuff together. If you don't.
Man. That's all me and Tony saying, bro. That's all me and Tony saying. Now, I will say this. Iowa went and got Michigan's old quarterback, Cade McNamara, and they old tight end. And they don't play Michigan or Ohio State this year unless they see them in the Big Ten title game. So watch out for Iowa too, because they still got a pretty good defense. And some of that old school tight end U stuff that parents bring out every now and then works. But we shall see. It's going to be interesting, especially when them other teams come a calling. Hey Tony, I tell you what, bro.
What's up?
Michigan State plays Washington this year.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see how that game comes out. It's early too. They got to play Michael Penix. So let's see how they play against them, and then that should tell you a little bit of what you think about them. And I think they play them in Washington. So that should tell you a little bit about where you think Michigan State will go.
Definitely. And I'm pulling for I like males, so I'm putting that. Why
Yeah,
I asked you.
I'm actually a Mel Tucker fan too, because I like how he brought. I like what he brought to State, what he had to do to get that team to buy in, and a lot of people don't understand this because they don't talk about Michigan State football like this. The cupboard was dry, bro. It was dry.
Oh, I know it was. I was shocked that
Antonio left that.
I think he left too. I think he left Georgia too early, and then the fact that he left and went to Michigan State, didn't really help the situation. But
Right.
I'm pulling for him.
He went to Colorado State before he went to Michigan State.
He went to Colorado first.
He went to Colorado, and then he didn't even start coaching them and took the job at Michigan State. And then he got that real good extension because he had first of all, he's the first coach in Michigan State history to win his first 2 games against Michigan. So that helped get him that money. Mm-hmm. And then Kenneth Walker came along and utterly destroyed the Big Ten, and that helped him too.
Yeah, he helped me win my fantasy last year.
Hey fellas, this just me.
Defending champ.
This is me, fellas. Kenneth Walker should have been a Heisman finalist.
Defending champ.
He should have been a Heisman finalist, bro. That's just my opinion. I thought he was snubbed on the Heisman. He should have been on a Heisman finalist.
We got there's gonna be a lot of compelling things. I think the Big Ten is gonna be the most compelling with the SEC. One last topic, right quick, before we get to our parting shots. Preseason football is kicked off. We're about to head into week 2 of the preseason. Of course, we only got 3 preseason games unless you're playing the Hall of Fame game where you have 4 preseason games. Real quick, let's do some quick takes. Tony, what was your takeaway from week 1 preseason game?
I mean, nothing really too surprising, man. Preseason is what it is, man. Some coaches really don't believe in playing their ones. Some coaches, try to make sure they get their ones in and let them at least play like the first quarter or the first half. But let's see. I like that. I like what Cleveland looked like, especially the guy. He actually was like a 3rd or 4th stringer. I was reading something about the other day about his performance in the game and what he's been doing in practice. Man, they actually thinking about promoting him to number 2, putting him behind Deshaun Watson, and shipping off Dobbs, getting rid of Dobbs, hopefully. But no, I definitely like what Cleveland did. Bryce Young struggled. That size, man. That size. So I'm kind of fearful. I know it's
Yeah, you left off on size. Bryce Young size, and the fact he got no offensive line, no receivers.
Yeah, he don't have nothing, man. He don't have nothing. So I feel sorry for him, man. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, especially at his size, man. You know, I'm really fearful to see, him get beat up. Let's see who else jump off grab my attention. The Falcons, they definitely had a good week one. Defense looks really, really, really good, really, really better, which is definitely going to help them, this season if it continues that way. Again, it's preseason, we all know that, but no, their defense definitely looked a whole lot better.
D-Round, what's your takeaway from week one?
I'm with Tony on the Falcons. Defensively, I like what they're doing. I really do. I'm impressed with what they're doing. With the home team, I like them playing their tools to see what they've got, and I like what they went out there and did as far as the hustle plays, the determination, and I'm a little disappointed with J-Mo with the drop. I know it's early, don't get me wrong, but I would expect him to make that catch that fell straight in his hand like that. So I don't know what they want to do with him. I know Teddy Bridgewater came out and said that he's going to mentor him and he's going to be on him. He's going to be on him so tough that he's going to hate him because he see the potential in J-Mo. But I'm also impressed with Detroit's defensive line play. I like the way they let me say the way Aaron Glenn is using them. It's impressive. I know it's preseason. We pretty much just picking at stuff. It's impressive how he's using them and what he's able to, what kind of pressures he's generating with different styles and designs in his defensive line formation. So I actually think Bryce is going to be okay. I do. I think that this will be a year similar to what Peyton Manning had his rookie year for him. I'm interested to see what Stroud do. I didn't get a chance to see anything Houston did, so I want to see what he does. But that's about it for me. I just can't wait for the season to start.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, then Mike.
I watched the Steelers game all the way through, and Steelers are a dark horse for me. I like the Kenny Pickett, George Pickens, of course. I like to see Broderick Jones out there still trying to find his way. They project him to be top second string, if not a starter. Darnell Washington looked good in his first one. They expect Darnell Washington to be on a lot of two tight ends with Vandermeer. I'm saying Freiermuth. I said Vandermeer. Freiermuth. I really like that. But my takeaway was one of the big takeaways to me was the fact that in the Denver game, they left Russell Wilson in there as long as they did, get knocked around when he's coming back. I know you're paying him a lot of money, but if you want to be competitive, man, don't let that man take all them shots during preseason. Don't let him take if we gonna ride, like you say, let's ride. Hey, you can't take all that, bro. That after you take a couple of shots, man, you take them out, put the second string in there. It is preseason. It is preseason. That's my take on it.
The two big takes for me, man, which I just maybe catch highlights. I don't really watch a lot of preseason football because, people don't make hasty judgments on this and that. But the two big things for me, San Francisco 49ers, if you got more than one quarterback, you got a problem. And they may have a problem on their hands with Brock Purdy not being healthy yet. They don't know what they want to do with Trey Lance. They signed Sam Darnold. Some people said Trey Lance didn't look good last week. Hey, man, he was playing with the second string offensive line also. So people are already talking that John Lynch made a bad decision with Trey Lance. We ain't seen nothing. He didn't play his first year. He got hurt last year. So we ain't really seen nothing. So we can't make that statement right there of that he's a bust. We ain't seen nothing yet. Biggest takeaway from me this weekend, man. God is good, man. Damar Hamlin getting on the field for the Buffalo Bills. He actually made like 3-4 tackles. If we think back, man, 8-9 months ago, all of us sat there and watched that Monday night game against the Bengals, how this man died on the field, man.
Twice.
And the fact that this man is back playing football less than a year later, man, that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing but God right there, man. And he was out there
died twice, Mike. Twice, bro.
Yeah.
Amen.
He
Amen.
was out there hitting, and he said it felt good getting back in the swing of thing, man. But that was more impressive than anything I seen preseason football. Just the fact that Damar Hamlin is back out there on the field.
Yeah, my one quick takeaway. You hit it with Trey Lance. I'm just gonna say this: if you trade us to the third pick, you get Justin Fields. You take Justin Fields. You don't take somebody that's played one game in their last year at college. But this the bed you made. You're gonna take a nap and take a 10-hour nap in that bed. But at the same time, like you said, he played sparingly. He had a 1-2 starts in his first year. Last year, one full game he played was a monsoon. Second game, he got knocked out in the second quarter. So he has played a total of maybe 6 games in the last 3 years. You can't control somebody getting injured, breaking an ankle. You can't control injury. And you got to get this man more time. You got to give him more time. If you spend that much capital, you got to give him some burn. Because Brock Purdy, I don't know if he's the answer. He looked good because they had no film on him last year. Had none.
They brought in Sam Darnold to even think about a starting spot.
Sam Darnold,
yeah, I've seen that. I've seen they signed him. So Lance's ankle is still not completely healed, right?
No, he back. He playing.
He's back. All right.
I'm still sitting my cousin. Y'all want a cousin? Y'all want a cousin? Look, that y'all want a cousin?
Man, this dude said Fade got an afro and a fade, and they call it a fade. Man, no.
Y'all can have my cousin. He just on. Yeah.
That's tough.
That's tough. I need a new cousin. Partner shots. Ryan hit it.
Hey, so my partner shot shouts out to the school that I attended, Alabama A&M University, brought in the largest freshman class in Alabama A&M University history. We talked a couple of weeks ago about, a few weeks back, the last time we were on, about if the new affirmative action overturn would affect HBCUs. And it seems to be affecting, just the talk of it has affected the HBCUs already. The biggest freshman class in Alabama A&M University history. And as me and Faye were talking before we came on, this is not going to do anything but get better for HBCUs. The Alabama A&M is just an example. It's not going to do anything but get better, in my opinion. Like me and Faye were saying. So kudos to those parents that are getting their kids to these HBCUs, and to the school I attended. Go Bulldogs! Congratulations.
Go ahead, Damon.
Hey, say, fellas, I got a little podcast out, right? So I was checking the numbers on the podcast just to see how I was doing and what was going on. And fellas, I'm international, bro.
I'm
international, bro. I got people in Switzerland and in Germany listening.
Okay.
So every week, I've noticed, I check at the end of the month. My wife was like, let's just see how each month goes. So I got 13 episodes, and my my ratings and my downloads have increased every week. And I'm getting more listeners every week. So I gotta say that to all my fellas that is taking a chance to listen. I know Mike had gave me some critiques, Tony gave me some critiques, Faye gave me some critiques, and I take them and I run with them. I appreciate y'all boys listening. I appreciate the constructive criticism and everything that you're doing, but I'm proud of myself for hitting a plateau that put me in other countries, man. So I appreciate y'all boys, man. Love y'all support, man. Keep it up for me, man. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, so when you get ready to do that, that WWE professional wrestling, you give me a holler.
Hey,
I'll make time for you.
My wife's setting that up to where I'm gonna get some guests on here, and I'm gonna get that going probably next month. I'm thinking next month of October.
When you do that, let me know, man. I'm gonna make time for you so you can come talk to me.
I got everybody covered because that is a topic I want to do. I want to talk about old school WWE.
Oh, bro, you get me and that dude up there with the big ass steak.
Yeah,
we'll talk some old school. We'll talk some old school and new school.
Hey, Tony, Black had already came met me talking about I want to be on the show, man. Before you get real big, and he brought up a real good topic. He was like, when you talk about HBCUs, you need to talk about Fort Valley and how we met everybody. I say that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a good one. But I appreciate y'all support, man. I do. I appreciate y'all support on that.
So basically what Damon is saying, y'all, he got pros in different area codes. That's what he's saying.
Area code. Yep.
He got pros. You
wrong for that, Faye.
All right, Pretty Tony, what they call
him? Man, I'm gonna be real quick and brief. You know, I just want to give a shout out to my girl, Fannie Willis.
Boy, that nigga, he took mine. Let me change mine real quick. Appreciate it, Tony.
Yeah, man, for stepping out and man, just doing her job, man. Not being afraid to do her job, not afraid of trying to win popularity contests or anything like that. As y'all guys know, of course she just indicted Trump and 18 other people and brought them up on RICO charges. But I mean, she got one of the most popular rappers in Atlanta. Saying some of his buddies, YSL, saying on a RICO charges as well that's been pending for almost about a year. But yeah, man, just want to give a shout out to Fannie Willis, man. That's my girl. I like her. She's very outspoken. And
she
like
got a nice
ass
too.
Yes. Definitely want to give a shout out to her doing her thing, man.
Not supposed to say that, man.
Oh, okay. Hey, y'all do know it's possible that this dude could be in jail and still be the president.
Yeah.
There's no law said he cannot be in jail and not serve the country.
Yeah.
Well, if Montgomery is any indication, he got some pull. We'll talk off air.
I'm gonna be straight up honest with y'all fellas. And I'm just being straight up honest and transparent. His money is so long, I don't think they're gonna get him.
No, he ain't going to jail.
That man, you know what this reminds me of? And Ryan, you can appreciate this. You know what this reminds me of? Vince beating the government with the steroid case. This what this remind me of. Vince did something nobody thought he could ever do. I think Trump gonna end up being that second person, bro. Because their money is long.
Hey man, when have y'all ever heard of a president that's got four indictments on him?
And been impeached twice. The man was impeached twice.
And that's the guy you chose to name your company after? Come on, man. Y'all want to run the country?
Mm-hmm. And go do it. And probably,
Oh,
I hate to say it, probably gonna do it. They ain't doing nothing but rally in his base, man.
native land.
I just don't think they gonna get him on it because the dude's money is so long, and he gonna find a way to do this and do that because he got the money to do it. I just don't think they gonna make none of this stick. I see what she doing, and she a brave one. I give it to her. She got a big set of gun nuts. But boy,
Gun nuts.
Y'all not.
But let me tell you something I heard on the news though, and this makes sense. See, them other 18 co-defendants, they ain't got the kind of money Trump got. So a lot of them gonna be looking at jail time if they don't give Trump up. Don't be surprised some of these people turn on Trump, man. Do not be surprised. Because if I ain't got the kind of money Trump can, and they trying to give me a plea deal, they gonna snitch on Trump. Watch what I tell you. They ain't got that kind of money like
possible. That is true, but remember,
so don't be surprised. Some of these dudes turn on Trump, man.
I hear you, Mike, but don't be surprised if they go to jail and there's money in somebody's bank account waiting on them.
Teflon Don.
I'm just saying, you right, Mike, but you know,
that's what they call
the Godfather do exist. They'll pay a brother off, man. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know if they'll make the stuff stick. Now she did something, and I respect it. I'm with Tony. I'm with you. I'm just wondering if it's gonna stick.
I'm gonna make him an offer. He can't refuse. Gonna make him an offer.
Go ahead,
I
Mike.
could be wrong.
Yep, I hope he gone. Well, I don't think he ain't gonna go to jail though. Go ahead, Mike.
My part shot now. I'm switching to high school football. High school football has started here in Georgia, and high school football is upon us in the country. Man, good luck to all the coaches, players, band members, of course, us as officials. People stay hydrated out there. It's gonna be hot for a while. And if you are not a part of the team, don't get out there criticizing coaches. And damn sure don't be trying to criticize us as a referee. I'm done.
Okay,
referees' lives matter.
Yeah.
Just
people out there making
right. Call it right, you ain't got to worry about nothing, young man. You call it right, you ain't got to worry about nothing.
What is calling it right? What that mean?
You know what I mean. You call it right. You call it right. Zebra. Freaking zebra.
So
freaking zebra.
My part of shot is, if you look at Mike's screen and look at his face, that's what happens when families try to argue with referees. They kidnap them and sexually abuse them.
Freaking zebra.
So it's dried up. Yeah, it's dried up on his face. He didn't wipe it off because the police got to come do a DNA swab. So.
It's stuck. Oh, it's stuck on the.
It's stuck on
that damn man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so make sure if you're gonna kidnap referees in the soccer, make sure you use protection.
Freaking zebra.
All right.
You a hater.
Hey, before we get out of here, Mike put something on Facebook. I'm gonna ask y'all boys. In honor of hip hop being 50, what was the one song that got y'all to listening to hip hop?
Oh, Das Effects. Das Effects.
For real? I would.
Damn, dude,
they want
tough.
effects. That's a good one. That's
you know what though? I initially said, I thought about it. It is tough because I can say the scenario. I can say my radio, my Adidas. It's so many. I had said my radio because I love that and Crush Groove, bro. So
I'm gonna go with one of my favorite of all time, and I'm a huge Outkast fan, but the one that got me really was the Tribe Called Quest. You know, We Got the Jazz. That jump right there with, and then the song they came out with beats, rhyme, and rhythms. That whole album goes. So I'm just like, they got me. And in '94, when that came out, the scene was so thick.
I got a lot of them. That's why I can't pinpoint one.
Hell dog. None but them last. I think
got
Eric
some
B. and
good
Rakim, man, paid in full.
That's
that
one
album
of
right
mine.
there, and along with like Easy Does It, Easy E album.
That's another one.
But for me, the song that really got me into hip hop was "Throw That Dick." But like,
And that's why you got that. That's why you got it on your face. Then they threw that dick. Oh yeah, there's your face.
Mine,
Hey, man. Podcast over, man. Podcast over, man.
We gone. Oh, Tony, give me a
Podcast over. Tony, podcast over, bro.
Come on, Tony.
Tony, podcast over, bro.
It's kind of hard to go behind it, man. But
Yeah, that's why I said podcast over, man.
No, I'm gonna say the king. I'm gonna say the king of rock though. I'm gonna say
I can go with that one.
Yeah, that's good.
I can go with that one.
Raising Hell was the first rap album that I bought. I went into Turtles. Fabian,
yeah. That man said Turtles. He went to Turtles.
Yes, sir. I went to Turtles. Turtles.
Well,
went to the
back
Turtles.
then, boy, they said Turtle.
That the EPMD, you got to chill. You got everybody. I know a lot of people didn't listen to this cat, but I ain't gonna lie. We got our own thing by Heavy D. It was a few of them, like, cause back then hip hop was, of course, you had the gangster, but it was fun loving. You would all go to the party, that type of thing. Yeah. So Bonita Applebum,
got it going on.
Check the Grind. Then you got the Wu-Tang, most of the Wu-Tang, man. It's so much, bro.
Shouts out to Wu-Tang. I saw no Good Morning America with yo, you Little Dirty Bastard on that. Look, you shouts out to Wu-Tang.
What did you say, Mike?
And then after that, it was NWA.
Right.
NWA turned me out as far
buddy.
As far as the rap game go. It turned me out.
Then Too Short came along and DJ Quick and Mike. What did you say? I hate that dude, man. I really do.
Yeah, what did you say, Mike? What did you say?
What did you say, Mike?
Man, the show over, man. I ain't say that.
I can't stand this young man.
Okay, before the FCC get us, we out.
Man, y'all boys be good. Mike Atwater, man, go